If Nirvana had started out today, given how different the nature of music consumption is with the internet, do you think Nirvana would be as successful today as they were back then?
That's a really good question. I think that they would be popular. I think that they would get a lot of critical love. I think that they would probably be able to sell out venues much like Greta Van Fleet did. But to change the world, no, we just don't have world-changing artists anymore. And the reason is we can't all agree on which artist should change the world. Back in the 90s when Nirvana came out, there was no internet. There was no you had to sit in front of the TV to watch Much Music or MTV, hoping that your favorite video would come on instead of going on to see YouTube or going on to YouTube. You had, if you wanted the music, you had to go and purchase a piece of plastic for, $15 or $20 or whatever it was, and that's a lot of money. And you would cherish that disc, and you would listen to it over and over and over again to get your money's worth out of that disc. And back then, too, you had four things that were basically running the music industry. You had radio, you had the record labels, you had record stores, and you had the video channels. And every once in a while, all four of them would come together in a consensus saying that this band is good. Everybody needs to like this band. And we went, oh, okay. And that's the way it had been for, since the beginning of the recorded music industry. But by the time we get to the 2000s, we don't need record stores anymore because we've got Napster and Audio Galaxy and LimeWire and BearShare and Kazaa and all the other file sharing programs, which allowed us to acquire all the music that we could never afford. And we didn't have to buy the whole album either. We could only buy the songs we wanted. And once you got online, you would find people who were just like you. And you would plumb through their collection of online files and go, okay, well, if this person liked this, then they must like, I should check out some of the other music that they like, and I might like it. So it's a completely different, the rules are completely changed. Nothing is the same as it used to be. And we will never see that kind of mass consensus about what's good. I mean, even, the biggest mainstream stars like your Beyoncés and your Lady Gagas and your Justin Biebers and your One Directions and even your BTSs, when it comes to the amount of cultural penetration that they have versus what kind of cultural penetration music used to have back in the day before the internet, apples and oranges. We all want what we as individuals want. We don't necessarily all group together and want the same thing at the same time in the numbers that we used to back in the day. So the economics of the music industry have changed, and the attitudes of music consumers have changed. So you put those two things together, and you could actually make a real argument for saying that Kurt Cobain was the last pure rock star we'll ever have.